Okay, these next two problems are examples of multi-step metric to metric conversions. And in this problem number 3, we were asked to go from millimeters to kilometers. So we're going to start off with what's given here. We have 3.46 times 10 to the 13th millimeters. We first want to start off with millimeters in the denominator. We know that for every 1 millimeter, there's 10 to the negative 3 meters. And we also know that there's 10 to the 3 meters in 1 kilometer. You don't have to use your calculator for this. If you don't use your calculator, this is how you would go about solving this using your exponent rules. We would have 3.46 times 10 to the 13th times 10 to the negative 3 times 10 to the negative 3. Right? If we raise this 10 to the 3 to the numerator, becomes 10 to the negative 3. Meters cancels out, millimeters will cancel out, and our units in the end would be kilometers. So if we use our exponent rules, this will end up being 10 to the 7th. So our answer is 3.46 times 10 to the 7th kilometers. In the next problem, we're going from deciliters to milliliters. We start off with what's given. So we have 1.2 times 10 to the 6 deciliters. We know that in 1 deciliter, there's 10 to the negative 1 liters. And there's 10 to the negative 3 liters in 1 milliliter. Our liters cancels out, deciliters cancels out, and again, we don't have to use our calculator, using our exponent rules. So we have 1.2 times 10 to the 6 times 10 to the negative 1 times 10 to the negative 3. Units at the end as milliliters, and using our exponent rules, that ends up being 10 to the 8th. So our answer ends up being 1.2 times 10 to the 8th milliliters. These next two problems are examples of English to metric conversions, and in problem number 5, we're asked to go from pounds to milligrams. And I'm going to give you some important information necessary to make this conversion. We know that 1 kilogram is 2.205 pounds. 1 pound is 16 ounces. And 1 ounce is equivalent to 28.34 grams. And our route that we want to take in solving this problem is we want to go from pounds to ounces to grams and then to milligrams, given the piece of information that we're given. So we start off with what's given always. We have 32 pounds. And now we want to go from pounds to ounces. So how do we go from pounds to ounces? We know that for every 1 pound, there's 16 ounces. And now we want to go from ounces to grams. For every 1 ounce, we have 28.34 grams. And then we want to go from grams to milligrams. We have 10 to the negative 3 grams is 1 milligram. Our grams cancels out, ounces cancels out, and pounds cancels out. And when you plug this in your calculator, it should be 1.5 times 10 to the 7th milligrams. This should be reported to two significant figures. In the next problem, we're going from yards to kilometers. And I'm going to give you, again, additional information that's available through your conversion vector worksheet, which is on the handout section of Blackboard. We have 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. And 1 mile is 1.61 kilometers. And the pathway that we're going to take in solving this is we want to go from yards to feet to miles to kilometer. We start off with what's given. We have 100 yards. And we know that 1 yard is equivalent to 3 feet. And there's 5,280 feet in 1 mile. And in 1 mile, there is 1.61 kilometers. Miles cancels out, feet cancels out, and yards cancels out. Reported to 3 significant figures because of the English to metric conversion from the 1.61 kilometers in every 1 mile. This ends up being 9.15 times 10 to the negative 2 kilometers.